Welcome to PowerCat Live. I'm here with Saurabh Pant, who leads the PowerCat team. Saurabh, tell us how did you get this role?
Actually, it's interesting. I think we sort of created the role. To be honest, I've been on the journey with Power Platform from the very beginning, and for any successful SaaS platform, you naturally needed someone to look at a deep engagement with customers, and I love doing it. And it became from one passion to me and Pratap to a larger team now.
So how long ago is that? Like, what were the early days?
For Power Apps, I think I might have been like program manager number 2 on the as we were building the vision around the platform. But then, of course, I had in my career done a lot of stuff around building products, especially on the cloud. I was working on Azure Redis Cache when we were thinking of the idea for Power Apps, and I wanted to do something that was far more deeply customer focused, even more than as traditional product development. So when we started envisioning this new platform with with our ambitious goals of empowerment around it, I felt that I wanted to take a role that was focused 100% on customer success. And Microsoft is great in that sense. They let me just run with it, and it just took off.
And so how long have you been with Microsoft overall?
A long time.
An unspecified number of years.
Yeah, I think it's coming close to 20 years at some point soon.
And so how does this role differ than like the numerous other roles you probably had at Microsoft?
Most of my roles at Microsoft have been, very traditional program management, product development. Again, roles I loved. I loved my good old .NET days. I love getting Azure Redis Cache to general availability now, I guess 4 or 5 years back. But I do feel that my role of working directly with customer feeds the soul a lot more. There is just something very gratifying about seeing someone using a platform that you've built to solve a very real life problem. In the case of COVID scenarios, we've all had examples of it being used for vaccine distribution to a distribution of government funds to businesses that are affected. So something very gratifying about seeing an application of a technology and playing a small role in that. So love that aspect of my job.
So we should probably talk about what is PowerCat, right? It's a relatively small team, but what is the team?
So PowerCat is the customer advisory team for technologies within the Power Platform. Specifically, I support Power Apps, Power Automate, Power Virtual Agents. It's known as the customer advisory team, customer architecture team, customer accelerator team, and I think all of those definitions make sense. What they are is an investment from Microsoft directly in engineering that is purely focused on making the customer successful. We're not here to drive licenses. We are not here to get you to accept the product as is. We are here to make you successful on our platform and get the most value out of it. And in turn, of course, by doing that, improving the product and taking it forward.
I like that. It's good that we explain it because up until now, everyone thought we were a brand of T-shirts. So, so it's good that we actually explain what PowerCat does. And I can say from being on the team that perspective of we are here to help customers. We're not sales. We are engineering. Is really refreshing, and I think it helps build a lot of trust with customers too.
No, it does. And Phil, within the team, we have this concept of the power pillars. We have 3 pillars that we work by. The top one of them being, of course, that you need to make the customer successful. And very often to make a customer successful, we do what in SaaS lingo in Microsoft would be considered non-scalable activity. We, by definition, take a set of marquee customers and go deep with them. Most of our customers have our direct cell phone numbers, know our families. We are deeply engaged with them.
And part of their teams.
Yeah, exactly. And we know, and we do that very consciously because to scale, you need to do unscalable activities to begin with. So the first pillar is about making a customer successful, having that deep engagement with them, doing whatever is needed for their success. The second pillar is around taking learning from the set of customers we have the luxury of going deep with, and then scaling those learnings out. So if you look at, I think the CoE Starter Kit, which comes out from our team, is a great example of that. We've not worked with every CoE organization, but we work with some key ones, 10, 20, 30, 40. But the learning that came out of it and then got presented as a kit is now used by thousands to enable a CoE in their organization. So great example of the second pillar of taking those learning from the non-scalable activities, scaling out those learnings,
Right.
and sometimes by enabling our partners, sometimes through tools, sometimes through patterns and practices, sometimes to PowerCat live video.
Right. It's all part of it. Yeah.
And of course, the third big pillar is around improving the product. So, and we do it in that order. We are ready to make the customer successful first, then make more customers successful, and then also improve the product, make sure that what is being built and the roadmap is shaped by real customer needs. So there is, in a SaaS world, there has to be a deep connection between the product team and the customer, and we help that happen.
And that's one of the things that has surprised me a lot from the team too, is that the people making these products are hungry for this input, right? This is not extra or distraction. This is what they're seeking.
No, I agree.
Yeah. Is that unique to Power Platform, or from the other products you've worked on?
I do feel that I think this in Microsoft, this culture that Satya has brought around customer is real. It's not just a talk. But then every organization reacts to it differently as well, especially with Power Platform, though, where the whole message is around empowerment. It's all about enabling folks to either be far more productive in what they're doing, or to enable a whole generation or a whole category of makers who would otherwise feel alienated from technology. When that is what we've set out to do as a mission, as a company, of course, and specifically for Power Platform, you have to be very deeply connected with your customers, because it's not it's the market segment that we play in low code platform is not a market segment that is established and we are doing a fast follow or replicating someone's playbook. We are growing the market, and in many cases the market is growing because of the leadership that Microsoft is showing in this space. So it's a great segment around enablement, where we are leading the growth of the market segment itself. So it is the Wild West in that sense. It's our customers who tell us what they need, and then we innovate with them and move forward. In many cases, low-code transformation at the scale that we are doing with some of our customers has never been done before.
Yeah, no, and that's what you're describing is one of the things that makes the job so fun. Is like one hour you're talking to someone who is not technical at all, and just build a chat bot that they want to deploy to hundreds of people. And they're like, I built the bot. Now where do I go from here? And the other is very technical cloud architects with a decade of experience that are also using the platform to deploy to 150,000 users, right?
No, absolutely makes sense. There are the intro videos that folks need to get started. And then there is you and Mark talking for a few hours on the ALM accelerator, which, no disrespect, a small set of customers really gravitate towards. But, not everyone needs to have that level of a passion for ALM.
It may have felt like a few hours. It wasn't that long. So I don't know what you're saying.
It was actually a 5-minute video.
Yeah, it was actually 5 minutes. Maybe you watch it on slow to really let it soak in. So this market is changing so quickly, as you're saying, and so is the platform itself. So what's next for PowerCat?
So for PowerCat, I think of it in terms of the larger industry itself, right? I think there are two things that are happening with this. The space of a set of digital elites building application has to change. It's the right thing for society to empower more and more folks to play in this ecosystem of people building applications. So that's a trend larger than Microsoft and this product and this platform. Definitely, our teams are very bullish on that. I think that is the future. There will be low-code framework will be how a lot of IT development is done going forward, and both from an empowerment angle and also from a productivity angle. Very often we do support a sort of a schizophrenic technology. It absolutely is about empowerment, but it's also about productivity for folks who could fire up Visual Studio, build apps using Objective-C, but they'd rather do it in a far more productive framework and concentrate on business value that they add. So very bullish on the larger space itself. And then I think also as a larger trend, this concept of there being a team of engineering resources who are given the luxury of only focusing on making a customer successful. That is our full-time job, is a trend that will continue forward. I think as we look back, maybe a decade from now, it will be surprising all software development was not done this way. There wasn't a deeper investment by engineering just directly on working very closely with customers. So very bullish on the platform, very bullish on the space we are in. So I just see a lot more of PowerCat on what we are doing. A lot more customers, a lot more patterns and practices, a lot more feedback back to the product cycle.
I can't imagine a decade in the future, so that's impressive. So one of those pillars you're talking about is this channel here, PowerCat Live, right? One way that what PowerCat learns and what we're sharing with our enterprise customers, we share more broadly.
No, absolutely. And I guess one way of looking at empowerment in general is there are different angles to it, right? And one way of making technology accessible is just that everyone has a different style of learning. For me, over the last few years, it's become purely video oriented. I just, for anything, I just look for a video to watch and learn. So I want to be, as we invest in Power Apps Live, it's taking the pattern and practices and tooling that we would have done and making it far more approachable in a video format to a larger set of audience who can get that goodness as well. So very, very excited about this going live. It gives us a chance to have more conversational discussions. It gives us a chance to bring more of, I guess, the culture of the team, bring our authentic self to our patterns and practices efforts. So I'm hoping this will be well received. I'm hoping it will get folks a chance to look at behind the screen and see all the great personalities we have on PowerCat and in the product team and sort of feel a relationship with them.
Yeah, no, I agree. The team is a group of pretty amazing people that come from all sorts of different walks of life. And I know from the work I've done, like solving a problem for a customer, there are other people that have that same problem. So being able to have a place to share that, and also what we learn from the people working on the products, the developers and the program managers, those conversations are also relevant. I know they would love to talk with customers too. So this makes an easy channel for us to do that for them.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it, Phil.
Thanks for the time, Saurabh. Good talking to you.
Thank you, Samir. Bye.